Yeah, so excited.
I shock.
What is good about the morning?
Where I had to pull him out of.
Hey.
Oh no, you have to relax for me.
Michael, you explain what is good about the morning.
You have to relax for Obodo, I beg you.
Now, I'm wondering why the both
there's
of you are also wearing red this morning. Who are you
Yes.
protesting against?
Miss Mobo, yeah. Oh, you're not getting
Miss
the language.
Mobo.
You didn't see how we started the morning. Get with the program. Follow.
I'm catching up.
Catch up. From here straight
But
to
you
the
look
courthouse.
like protesters.
I beg you. Red should mean more than just protest.
At this point.
Red is a very passionate color. It connotes fieriness.
Give us
It
a
connotes
a color of
heat.
love. Actually.
It's a color of love. I love that. Simple and short. Means small.
It's also the color of fire.
Also the color
Color
of
of
fire.
war.
Of course. No.
Color of blood.
No. Anyway, color
You are
of blood.
picky and
Yeah,
choose.
we are red hot, ready for the morning, ready for sunrise, ready to take over the whole entire universe.
Bam.
Ready to take over.
You did this. The weekend is here. Very excited for that.
Hey, agenda one.
Your favorite day of the week.
And I was born on a Friday.
Oh,
Yes. My
Yes.
Achim name is Ifya Crying.
If you are
Ifya Crying.
crying,
Yes, if you are crying from Isium.
Isium.
Shout out to all my
Assume.
town
All your
folk.
ancestors.
Isium, yes. In the heart of the eastern region, home of Kwabi
so
Brim
your
United.
bride price, no?
Yes, please.
Who will it go to?
Whoever will accept it. Because by the time they go, so if you bring in our guests, man, meet you.
You take on behalf of the family.
Right, the time they go, so, you slack and even the junction ground will meet you for the bride price.
Oh my
Six
goodness.
to whoever, anybody.
So if they bring the list, anyway, I hear you people don't do. I hear that one is typical of the Ghana people.
Now
they
the
bring
list
the
has
list-
become
list-
universal.
Yeah,
Universal
list is
Right
When
universal
now.
they bring the
now,
list and you see that the man says this list, it is not listing for me. What will you do?
These days, the men also negotiate.
Say you.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Say,
negotiation.
you can go on credit.
Can credits be done?
Please, I beg you. Nobody gives up their daughter on credit.
I say me ban what did you do Befano?
If you say, 12 months installment. If it's like, at the time when my sister was unmarried, he would have done buy one, get one free. Now, she's off the market, so I can't back open. Hurry now while stocks last. No discounts. No discounts.
Dear beloved, come on.
Yes. I've been watching him with the watch like this. No.
Yeah,
But we shall see. But I think the list is now universal.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the negotiations go.
I think if I may be mistaken, but if the sister says, the man says,
At this point, you are still mistaken.
It's too
Anyway, at this point, you are still mistaken.
Oh, you have to relax for me.
You should be taking notes too.
You have to relax for me,
Please
please. You have to relax for me.
relax.
I mean, the woman who will go and negotiate on your behalf from her side to see
Okay.
that.
So we have
Try and
stripped this
trim it,
whole
trim it,
process
trim it
of
a bit.
all customary relevance and significance, all cultural relevance, and
Of what?
it's just about the list.
It's becoming uniform. The whole, in fact, the whole look and
No,
feel.
I mean, you saw
You know, guys,
the customary
return
nature is still
etiquette.
there.
The question
The
is,
customary
Sure.
is still there, but you still get a list.
the question is it still
Sure.
relevant?
The list?
The listing, really, is it still relevant?
Please,
I think
it is.
I think it's a hard conversation we need to have because you see, a lot of this listing is the reason why some young men have not married. Because
Oh,
Charlie,
really?
if you see some of the lists, if you see
is
some,
it really deterring the guys?
oh,
like
and
that?
you've not seen some before.
it is.
Oh, I've seen some lists,
Oh,
but
no,
Some
I
of the
mean-
lists
But
are
it's not a
quite crazy.
Mawina
I'll
can
be
just
honest.
run away with her. I mean,
So what do you elope?
I just relocate.
Sometimes I
Why
think
am I
you
not
guys
here
are
from-
Why
okay.
am I at the center of this conversation?
Because you have a lot to learn.
Sometimes I think
Center of
sometimes I think it's a joke. I don't think they're being serious. I've seen things like
The list?
Yeah,
No,
iPhone.
for the
It's
list.
joke.
No, okay,
I've
those
seen-
ones are jokes.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
people-
really,
people
on
print
How
it.
is that a joke?
You see, for me,
How is
But those things
iPhone?
come
How
from
is
the family.
iPhone
If it comes from the
becoming
family,
a
how
part
is it a
of?
joke?
How is iPhone becoming a part of?
Then they are being
Yes, that is
unreasonable.
why I asked the
Requirement.
question whether it is losing the cultural.
No,
and
I
customary-
genuinely think those are some memes that people put together and then.
but don't,
sure?
it may not be. It may not be too far from the truth. It may not be.
Well,
That's
the
why they say
iPhone is
before
like-
you go, you send your
the
relatives
bride's
to do
family
recce.
have not seen an iPhone before.
Oh,
and
no,
so
maybe they want.
to see an
Maybe
iPhone.
that is the basic requirement to
You
have their
send your
daughter.
family to do recce. That's why they say check for the mentals. Go to the family you are going to enter and see that everything is working.
No, I
because why are
genuinely
you
think
asking
that's
for
just a
iPhone?
meme. Yeah,
For me-
I genuinely
think that
that's just a meme.
it's to some extent losing its authentic relevance. Previously, to the best of my understanding, a lot of these things were instituted as a starter pack for the woman.
That's right. Sewing machine.
Sewing machine.
Exactly.
What?
I don't to me
Bulls and tents.
Yes.
But really, do we need them? Must it be a requirement if I already have them? Those are some of the little things we must begin to ask, because you see, it's also becoming an albatross on the necks of a lot of young people. Because if you do your calculations and the bride price and all the other monies you have to pay is exceeding 10,000 cedis, and your average salary is 2,000 cedis, when will you save the 10,000 after paying your rent and the likes? So if you say you are going to wait another 5-10 years to raise bride price, who are you helping? And those are the hard conversations we must begin to have.
Yeah.
And then before that, we go to the issue of this mandatory refreshment and things after church and after
So you
marriage.
don't want to
Oh
refresh
no,
your
forget that
guests.
thing. These days.
No,
the trick
these
is
days
simple.
nobody,
These days,
nobody.
do it on a weekday.
No,
In the
weekday
mo-
people
yes.
so turn
No,
up.
no, no, in the
there's-
morning.
It will
there's-
shock you.
And after
No,
It will shock you.
This
Six
is
is
from
right.
a series of
It's right
a
because
series of
you do
ceremonies
it
I have
Tuesday
attended.
at 11.
you do-
It
oh,
reduces
on which day
your
did you get married?
on your
Oh no, mine was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Hey, bonanza.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Whoa,
Let's do our marriage.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Festival of love.
Hey,
If you took 3 days to marry, then by now you should go and renew it.
Because the traditional authority had to send a representation.
From where?
Traveled all the way from Ulowa to Accra.
Oh wow.
My wife's traditional authority. We live in Accra, but we are traditional people. We
Yeah.
live in that. They had to come all
you-
the way.
So you did which one on Friday? You see what I have to go
No,
and
I
renew?
don't want to call it engagement. I'm trying to say it as it must always be said.
Traditional
the traditional marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which a lot of people
Which is
call-
marriage in itself.
in
actually.
itself. So the traditional
It's actually
marriage
marriage. It
happened
cuts
on
from-
the
but we
Friday,
call it engagement.
Engagement.
Which is actually
Yeah.
very
Which is
wrong.
wrong.
Very, very wrong.
which is wrong.
Yeah.
Fair.
So the traditional marriage happened on the Friday, and on the Saturday we went to church.
Okay.
So
to
church
do
wedding.
Yes, to do the
And then
solemnization.
Sunday you went to thank God.
And then Sunday we went to thank God. And
Thanksgiving,
this happened at 3 different locations
Oh wow.
Ah,
Yes.
Are you married?
in the same town.
Wow.
And then the capital was yours that weekend. The
Say
whole
it
of
again.
Accra was yours that
Oh
weekend.
no, of course. It
And
is
you
the
refreshed
feeling.
your guests every day of the event. So Friday you had refreshment for your guests. Saturday refreshment. Sunday
Where we
refreshment.
come from, marriage is not between the man and the woman, it is between
Oh,
families.
you're a big man.
So in essence, you had family back.
So exactly.
It wasn't like it was your responsibility entirely. Is that the point?
Definitely,
No, I
it
mean,
is,
that
it is my
always-
family's responsibility. Do you get it?
No, but you see where 6
I'm
is
also
also
trying
going with
to
this.
draw a parallel between what happens today
Uh-huh.
and what it should be.
Okay.
Where you have, if you are, we are in Ghana, so 2 Ghana people are getting married. It is not Akwe and Achwe who are getting married, but it is the families of Akwe and Achwe. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that
I mean, that's what
that
it's always
burden-
been, actually.
That's not how it is these days. That burden is reduced. So you have elders who are with you every step of the way,
Financially as
financially as well.
well. Okay.
Financially as well. I had people supporting me, family supporting me.
Because otherwise,
So-
how does one singular young man with a modest income take care of all of that? So your family has
That
to
is
get
why you don't
involved.
also have to bring too many people.
You don't invite them; they come
Oh,
themselves.
how?
Oh, come on. You know how it is. You know how it is.
I intentionally delayed putting out the invitation to my wedding. The numbers that came shocked me.
Were you able to feed everybody?
You're a big
Amen.
star.
No, so just
Exactly.
to
You're a
hold
big
on.
star.
Exactly. Also, you're a big man.
You were a TV and radio personality at the time.
Your wedding is a celebration.
Oh, hold on. The more reason why I'm trying to explain to you that it's not about whether or not you invited them. People will show up anyway.
Well.
So that's also another part of
you
it.
see,
That is why I think that we need to
That is what I'm
review
saying,
a lot
guys.
of these things about
Charlie,
refreshment.
do the
and
thing on a Monday or a Tuesday in the morning, 9 a.m.
But you did yours Friday, Saturday,
Sunday,
Sunday.
Sunday.
I think everyone should do that.
Because of the dynamics.
Okay.
and the family
You get it?
backing.
And no, it's not even about the family backing because people had to travel. You can't travel and come and move the following day. You are traveling back.
Okay.
So you might as well just utilize the time.
Okay.
And the Friday, Saturday, Sunday doesn't mean it was any elaborate in our own
Whether or
sense.
not to us, it was a jamboree. Not 3
No,
days.
of course.
3 days there was a festival of love.
See, the thing I trace it back to us as a people. We've also lost our way because if the families understand that, okay, these are two young people starting out in life,
Why
I don't
should the
see
list
why
be-
they should give them such a
Yeah.
list that would be burdensome, especially on the guy or his family. But these days, as a people, the things that we deem important, what we think is, a priority, I think we've become a very different crop of people. To the point where, Charlie, if you do something modest, you are scared and you're best reme. And it's like, what kind of a people are we? What happened to modesty, to doing things coolly, to
Staying
also
within
just
your budget.
Stay
Live
within
your
your
life,
budget.
I mean, well,
Live your
people-
life.
Live your
Yeah,
life.
people are just-
When I was in level,
They call 20,000,
Pitching-
venue
when I was in
15,000,
level- when I was in
refreshment
level
50,000.
200, 300 in Lagos, and I had a roommate, Obese. He would tell you, and I was a student leader and politician, so my life had to be prim and proper.
Yeah.
Every single day, this man will go out and chill. When he opens the door, he said, 6 to C, live your life.
And it's right, Charlie, live
Charlie,
your life.
look at
Live within
yourself,
your
oh.
means. What
Look
is
at
all
yourself.
of this?
Live your life. Don't let anybody give you pressure. Charlie, when you are having problems in the marriage, all those who came to chop the jollof, they won't be there.
In fact, they'll even gossip.
They will gossip about
You see that big wedding, but Saturday, you cry.
That money that
They
you
will
use to
use
do
that
that big
wedding
wedding,
to insult you.
use it, invest it in your marriage. Set up a fund, open some account, investment account for yourselves.
Serious.
And stop this.
So to the young person,
you don't have a car.
Very good advice coming from
Honestly,
experts this morning.
honestly,
Who are
whenever,
you trying to impress?
whenever I say I want something, people say, "Oh, how? How can you have this?" I say, "I didn't mean How can you want a small thing? You have to change your dress 6-7 times. What is this?
What is this?
What is this? What happened to something cool? You saw one, you saw one. You go and
You
sign,
go and-
find one meat pie, one club.
That's all.
It's fine, club.
And finish.
We didn't see that coming.
A
To be quite
package
honest.
take away.
Is it even compulsory? Is it even compulsory?
No, but at least we are also the traditional people.
Or at least give somebody. Let them wear their mouth. Let some caterers, let them be also go.
I'll talk about you on that.
My point is that you see, we are doing Asiatra.
I know they want it.
You are learning more. You are learning more than.
I said, "Mona mo de buy and hits." They overdo the
Because
thing.
I hear in some parts of Europe, for instance, after the wedding, they have the reception in a bar. Whatever you drink, you pay. And you know the funny part to say is-
No, you see, but that's different. We are communal individuals.
Exactly.
Let me-
And even
Yeah.
the Europeans
Yeah.
cry,
Yeah.
they start overdo. The average budget, I'm sure, I read recently in the UK, and then £40,000, £50,000. They even,
Now they've
as
started
the wedding
to-
culture has become something different.
It's a whole industry to milk people.
industry.
Yeah.
People are making their money from the wedding industry.
See,
So the whole
in
thing.
the UK and in the US, for instance, when they invite you to a birthday party, you don't go with your 10 fingers.
That's all. That's
You
what
go
I'm
with
saying.
something.
You go
In
with
Ghana,
it, as
in
well.
Ghana, you walk there and even go and ask, where is the food?
Where's the food?
I will say, oh, I came late. Where is my share?
They didn't give me 2 chicken.
They didn't give me 2 chicken.
And you see, that's what part of where I was going to. These days, too, people are going to wedding ceremonies empty-handed.
It's true.
And it's
That's
another
always
thing.
been-
They're
that's
going
always been
empty-handed.
one of the things.
People do their wedding
So
finish.
in organizing your ceremony, if you don't have people behind you who say, oh, I'll take care of your reception, or I'll take care of your suit, or I'll take care of this, that's my contribution. We are losing that. So if you don't have that and you go and rent the dome.
Are you rent the dome?
People take loans or they take loans.
Yeah.
60s even.
That's my
Why
point.
would you take a loan to go and?
Yeah.
go and do wedding?
Yes.
How?
But you know,
Who are you fooling?
Sixers, you know the
Yes,
interesting thing I'm also realizing that the upper class that you are trying to copy, the couples don't fund their weddings. No, the couples don't even fund their weddings.
Who funds it?
Mostly
Their
it's
parents.
Mostly their parents.
Yes.
Their
It's actually their
Yeah.
parents.
Mostly it's their parents.
All these celebrity things we see on
It's their
social
parents.
media.
Their parents living life through
And
them.
you know, this is somebody whose parents maybe has has set up a wedding fund when they were children, and the
True.
money has grown, and so when they put their hand and they don't feel it, then you
be buying pressure
I
for
know
yourself.
somebody who paid for their child's wedding, the whole thing. So the first dance, it was him and his wife. They danced before the couple. To show that this was
it was
also their wedding.
That one, I'm not going to agree.
I never go
You
do
have to
that.
I'm
agree.
not going to agree.
You don't
But
agree.
they-
I'll do my wedding myself.
Is it your money? Is it your
Is
money?
it your money?
You don't know.
No, is
You
it
not
your
know
money?
you have the first dance. It's when you get to the first
That
dance
morning,
that you.
and then
get
that's
to-
where we'll have our first fight.
That's just
Me, my
what-
They
day.
pay for
You
it.
come and have you and your wife will come and have
Is
your
it
first
your
dance.
money?
They
Dance.
pay for it.
Is it your money?
No.
Then when you are ready to bring your money.
But anyways, I mean, very good advice that you live within your means, even as you try and tie the knot down
Yeah.
with that special somebody. Stop looking at me too
You've
much.
learned a lot today.
Stop looking at me too much.
Okay.
Stop looking at me. But there's just a bit more as well in terms of living within our means.
Exactly.
That outside of marriage, you need to cut across everywhere else in terms of how we go about our things. But
Honestly.
let's get into our papers as well this morning, and I'm sure a lot of the front pages we have will have the president and that all explosive. I don't want to call it explosive, so I take back explosive, but bold speech that he delivered yesterday
Explosive it's not a wrong word.
Yeah, I mean, but I just chose to use bold instead of explosive. But it was explosive as well in terms of what he had to say. I don't know what either of us made of it, but I took to social media just after I'd heard it, and I explained how brilliant of a speech it was, the speech writer. And I mean, the president by himself is a good orator in terms of being able to lift these scripts, and it was fantastically done as well yesterday. I don't know for
So
the
script
rest
was
of
on
us.
point.
Yeah, his
delivery was
as well.
excellent.
Yeah.
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 I think it went well.
Content was superb.
Yeah.
He rattled a few feathers.
Quite a
Yes.
lot,
a
actually.
few,
Quite
not
a
a
lot.
few.
Quite
A
a
lot,
lot.
yeah.
Quite a lot.
A
Because from telling the U.S. president who was there the day before that climate change was almost a hoax, that's what Trump had to say about climate change, and then he came and said, no, it is very real. That's not a few. It's actually a lot in terms of the things he had to say.
I agree.
Well, if he has taken away the aid right now, damn it.
Honestly, if that's how you want to be. Sometimes I was also monitoring the comments on social media, and sometimes I fear that we might be a little bit too timid as a people. We're a sovereign nation. Like, yes, we do take aid, we do have our shortcomings, but I don't know why we think that means that we cannot have a say, we cannot express ourselves. Any small thing, it's okay, don't talk too much. Like, let's
Don't
bring
shout.
our chest out.
Don't shout.
Yeah, just bring your chest out and let's also assert ourselves on the world stage. Why not?
But the point is that
said
talking
on
comes
social
with
media that I
consequences.
said on Facebook that
It does.
this was I am proud to be Ghanaian and I am proud of my president John Dramani
Who wrote
Mahama,
that?
bold, strong and powerful. I
You wrote
that
it.
on
Oh,
He
And
that.
when listening to him, I was like, now I see where the foreign minister gets his confidence from.
Yeah.
To speak the way he speaks, even on social media, the things he writes on social media. I think that we have to be able to assert ourselves as
Yes.
a sovereign nation.
Yes.
And continue to be the proud people that we are.
But for me, I think that talk isn't also cheap or shouldn't be cheap.
Oh, absolutely.
And sometimes when you want to make bold comments, you must be ready to stick your neck out all the way. Remember, we were the same people touting Ghana Beyond Aid, and the next moment
we were
up and
at
out.
the doors. I mean,
You
you're
get
not
what I
wrong.
mean. So
You're
I
not
think that
wrong.
there should be a fine balance. Make sure that you can back it with what's the word? With
actions to an
substance.
extent.
Yeah, those are some of
and
We are working
so that it's
on
not
it.
just talk.
We are
So that it's not
working
just talk. But
We're working on it.
those are great delivery. For me, I've always admired the president's communication ability. I like the way he's able to say things as bluntly as possible without being as abrasive, but he said it anyway. I think I admire that, and it's commendable.
Oh,
And
very
I like hearing
commendable.
him in his Ghanaian accent, you know.
Hey,
like that.
shots fired. Shots fired.
Oh no, shots fired. I say this for a very particular reason because sometimes I don't know, as an African in the international space,
Yeah.
there's sometimes this temptation to overdo, sometimes mask how you actually sound. And I always appreciate it when people are
You sound, you sound yourself. Actually.
you sound like just kasa. Talk, just feel free.
You sound,
okay?
you sound you, and
There's hot water. Just feel free.
I
Okay?
wish you could do me.
Yeah, and this is not even short to anybody. This is actually, I'm just widening it. I always cringe a little bit when I know somebody doesn't sound like that, but they want to give you a little flavor, and then maybe flavor kakra, but like let's hear, like this is you. Feel free, like
Yeah.
why?
I mean, in the aftermath of that speech, I think I've said it. It was brilliant. It was brilliant, particularly when he went on about Gaza and this, he put it aptly, stated it as what it is, that crimes there must stop, and I mean. No other way. I mean, at some point when he was speaking, you could hear the applause continue to come in when he was making some of those very bold
because at
statements.
some point, listen, enough has to be enough, and a lot of
It has to
he's not the only world leader who
Exactly.
has said this. It's not anything strange.
Yeah, he said it as it was supposed to have been said, and I mean, I said Nkrumah will be proud because he was one who stood for fairness, justice in all things, and so most certainly, and the papers have carried it through into this morning. I think the Daily Graphic leads with, after 80 years, UN must reset. President Mahama demands a bigger voice for Africa. It comes with a picture of the president. I love the fact that he was in a smock as well.
I was actually coming to that, and that was a very beautiful piece too.
It was a really, really beautiful smock as well. Charlie,
it stood out.
I want one of this. I want one of this. I mean, it's very, very, very.
And this is how you turn an economy around, by walking the talk. Imagine there was a directive that all members of parliament wore African wear to parliament. Do you know how much of an economy that creates in itself? And those are the
a lot of them.
Yeah, these days a lot of them actually.
Some of them. I wouldn't say a lot of them.
You don't think a lot of them
I think some of them do, but I don't think it's in the majority necessarily. But I think we should be intentional about making it a practice, a norm.
The women do. Shout out to the women. They don't slack with us. The kaba, the slates, the prints.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Well, a bit more. Youth unemployment will hamper Galamsey fight. That says Sam Jonah. A story on page 13 of the Daily Graphic. Implement reforms for sustainable development. The World Bank is telling our government, and Ghana launches National Energy Compact. It comes under Africa's Mission 300 initiative. On the back page, air pollution silent killer in Ghana. Country director, and Accra to get 100-ton plastic waste plant. Those are the stories on the front and back pages of the Daily Graphic.
All right, let me take you to the News Center newspaper, and this is what the front page has to say. Access Bank Ghana appoints Pearl Nkrumah as the new MD. President Mahama blames rich nations for migration crisis. Asthma petitions minister to strip Handa families Ghanaian citizenship. Not too sure what the story is all about. It's captured on page 4 of the paper. And embrace, invest in AI now or risk irrelevance in the digital revolution. You've got Ralph Mupita, MTN Group President and CEO. Quickly to the Daily Guide as well. Will push for African reparation, and that's coming from our president. He's also pictured here on the front page. Exploitation of Africa's resources must end. President Mahama. Illegal miners on rampage take over Gridco sites. Woman 42 dies in Galamsey pit. Full story captured on page 6. And another unfortunate one here captured on the front page of the Daily Guide. NADMO officer found dead in river.
Yes, that's a bit unfortunate. But Mike, you have the Ghanaian Times.
Ghanaian Times, Reform Security Council Press Mahama demands at the ONGA, fighting Galamsey needs chiefs.
ONGA? UN General Assembly is what you ONGA, pa.
Oh, that's what it's called in short.
Okay.
No.
I've never heard it before. I'll be very honest.
Helen has done evil by me.
Yes, please.
She read your paper.
She read your paper. But you
Commiseration.
One day you confess the payola you've been collecting from this.
That's the funny part. Oh.
They don't even know you.
You don't give me money.
By now they should dedicate half the front page to you.
Or maybe they give him a
To the-
column in there.
Oh, no.
What success?
So the confession is that the court reporter for Daily Guide is one of my best
a good friend.
Oh.
And is that
And he's a very good writer.
Oh, nice.
so the newspaper is what? Ghana's what?
Ghana's favorite.
And so they can do a small box. They be favorite reader of Ghana's.
I like that.
Okay, fighting Galamsey needs chiefs' power, not just laws. Sam Jonah. Ghana launches National Energy Compact for Reliable Energy. Government injects 2 billion Ghana cedis into District Assembly's Common Fund. That's a good one. And on the back page, MCSG ECOWAS provides borehole to school at Sisala West. That's great. J6 pig farming thriving steadily. And that's it. Oh, there's one here. Electrician jailed for stealing assorted items in tavern.
I thought you were almost about to say assorted rice.
You know, it was something.
Assorted. Yeah, I almost
Of
added
all the
rice
things
for
you're
you.
arrested for.
Anyways,
Anyways.
where do we go to? Anything?
I think
piquing our interest?
we'll start with the president, even though we've made mention of some of the things he had to say. Just brief details from Kester Abram Crunchy, reporting from New York. You know, in journalism, they say this could be the highest point in terms of reporting that you can do, reporting from the UN General Assembly. And President John Dramani Mahama has issued a stern call for a fundamental reset of the United Nations and the global financial architecture, declaring that Africa's role in shaping the future global order will be huge and consequential. Addressing the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York yesterday, President Mahama stated that with projections indicating that over 25% of the world's population and a third of its youth will be African by 2050, the continent could no longer be sidelined in critical international decision making. That's our president. I want to just mention the Gaza, Sudan, and then Cuba instances where he had cause to speak to, and to demonstrate Africa's fast-growing global influence. President Mahama did not shy away from addressing ongoing global conflict. On the situation in Gaza, he departed from what he called the General Assembly's habit of playing hide and seek with language. It doesn't matter what you call it. If it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, well then it must be a duck. The crimes in Gaza must stop. He stated, advocating a two-state solution as a reprieve for innocent Palestinians. He also drew attention to the crisis in Sudan, describing the millions displaced as climate refugees, often unfairly stigmatized. And then as well, he mentioned Cuba. It said the Cuban people shed their blood on African soil in the fight against apartheid. Indeed, Cuba has been and continues to be a faithful friend to Africa. He said, a reference apparently directed at Cuba's generous offer of vital technical services to the African continent. And so, those are details from what the president had to say. And I will be very honest, the part I read about Cuba, Sudan, and then Gaza was my highlights from everything that he said. I mean, the mere fact that he went and all guns blazing on that front, I really loved it.
And the position of Africa in the UN structures. That as well. I mean, that's been a long-standing conversation. We talk about it. Imagine Africa not having any significant representation, even at the security, not even at the Security Council level.
That's right.
Where all the action happens. And this whole question about veto power, that select countries,
5 nations actually,
are the ones deciding what to shoot down, what not to shoot down. Decisions are made and they decide which one runs or it's implemented and all of that. I think that Africa should begin to assert itself in the Committee of Nations and to show that, look, and we've been having this conversation, all the resources come from Africa.
That's right.
But because we ourselves know, we are like that. We fight amongst ourselves over the resources. And because of how divisive we are and how we decide to, in a lot of the cases, also, exploit the resources for personal gain rather than the national gain and development. You have these multinationals and who mostly are representative of the foreign countries come in, take the resources, go back, we remain poor, we don't have a voice. How you poor man no get voice? You see? So Africa has to redefine itself within the Committee of Nations and to insist that, look, we are no longer the Africa that we used to be 50 years ago. Now we have a voice. Now we know what we are about. Now we know how much we are worth, how much we contribute. But of course, all of that is talk until we set the home affairs right.
That's right. The Daily Guide captured it well. Exploitation of African resources must end. And I hope that also informs how we go into some of our deals. The percentage, when it comes to our mineral resources and that sort of thing. Remember when we talked about lithium and some,
that Barari DV contracts.
Yes, so all
15%
the
were getting
percentages were thrown out. And you find that across the continent, that's the sort of arrangement that our leaders engage in. And I think that's not good enough. I mean, how? Because those coming in to do the deal from overseas, from other jurisdictions, they say, well, we've got the infrastructure to actually mine it, but we have the thing freely. So all your infrastructure, you can't get it from the sky. They take it to the sky. If you have the infrastructure,
I've always argued that if we're not getting a better deal, let the resources remain in the soil.
Yes. When we figure it out,
no,
we'll
you're
go
the only
move
one.
it.
In fact,
let it remain in the soil.
That argument has been made by a lot of nationalists.
Because even as we're the resources have remained in the soil, we are finding our way and trying to do things. So why must we allow you now to come? Okay, let's get the natural resource out of the soil, and then we don't get a good deal. Let it be in the soil.
Our explorations, when Ghana discovered oil in commercial quantities, that was when President Mills had just taken over, and there was this whole talk about positioning Ghana to be able to handle the resource exploitation by itself and benefit from it. And all of that came from lessons that we learned from what is now called the resource curse in other countries, where and Nigeria was always the closest example, where you see that there's plenty of oil, but the people are poor and the people are fighting over it because they don't feel they are getting what is due them from that resource. And the local content component of it is something that took a lot of time to design. That we must be able to get a lot of our people into the process, the value chain, so that at every level you have locals there. Where we lacked the expertise, we send them into training, bring them back, and put them in the process. So we are asking ourselves, how many years down the line are we fully equipped now to handle these processes by ourselves, or we are still relying on the multinationals to come? Helen, you have in a lot of these companies, and these are reports we get from people working in these companies. Somebody comes, you are better qualified, but the person is brought in as an expatriate. The person is paid way higher than you.
That's right.
But you have the qualification.
That's right.
Because the person is an expatriate. So the person gets more than you. So, well, I haven't really checked whether we still have deficits in terms of local content in our resource conversations and involvement.
There's still
a conversation that we must have. It shouldn't just end at the UN level. I think this should trigger conversations at the national level. Let's forget international. Yes, he said it on the international stage, and the applause is loud. We all applaud him. Let's come back home and ensure that we start the conversation from here. asking, demanding that what is due our people get.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the local content participation. I think it's one of the many things, particularly in our petroleum and oil downstream sector, even upstream, since the arrival of experts in terms of drilling and all of that. There's been a deliberate attempt to train and have locals be able to go up onto the oil rigs and be able to do. We have to check because from time to time we're told local content participation has to be at a certain level.
Yes.
As to whether or not we've reached that level.
We are meeting the targets.
Yeah. We have to check that because after more than 10 years, we should say that. Now we were told that there will be the development of certain wells in the coming years. The government struck an agreement with, is it ENI amongst many others. It will be interesting to know what the local content participation will be now, 10 years on or 10 years plus after we said that when we first discovered and we began to produce on commercial quantities, our people were going to get a certain level of training. Have they been trained? Have they been able to retrain others as well, such that their expertise is becoming more and more localized? Is one of the many things that we can look out for in terms of the conversation. But I see you have another story in terms of what.
No. I actually just wanted us, before we go, I wanted us to take a look at our tilapia moment.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We didn't start with it, but we can go back. So tilapia is talking about galamsey. And yes, talking about galamsey, there's actually a story I saw, front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. It says, woman 42 dies in galamsey pit. And that story is on page 6 of the paper. Yesterday, I was watching one of the channels, and I think somewhere the Chifu area, there's a pit that has collapsed and a number of people have died, and the DCE has ordered the arrest of the pit's owner. The story says, according to the voices that came in from the community, the pit was operated by a known galamseya. That's from the voices. Now, is it a known galamseya?
Someone they know.
Everybody in the community knows that he is doing galamsey. Nothing was done about it. The pit collapses. DCE orders arrest of that owner of the pit or that known galamsey, and the DCE is still at post. No, that DCE must be fired.
Yeah.
You cannot know if
someone
you know
who is
the person,
actively destroying.
you know the operations are illegal, but you let the person continue. There's an accident, and now you arrest the person. No. The person has to be arrested, yes, but you must also lose your job. And I think that the presidency must act on this. We have to continue to demonstrate that good faith. Let people know that some action is happening. I saw the story.
So had these individuals not died, this known galamsey would have been continued
to be known.
And you would have continued to destroy the environment. But even yesterday, we got wind when the Parliamentary Select Committee on Energy visited Gridco that the galamseyers are now moving close to our transmission lines.
Wow, look at this.
And that could pose a challenge for the national grid. So now, even in terms of whether or not you can have light in your area, you have to pray galamseyers are not digging underneath that soil and destroying power transmission. Because once they dig underneath and then it comes down, you possibly
could
not.
You could go to the bathroom and then that would be your last day.
Yes.
Someone actually, that's a story. Someone went to the washroom.
Lady.
Yes.
And that was it, because somebody has dug and now they're under your WC. What is this? 6 to
No, it's sad. So that story has to be looked into, and that DCE should not remain at post. If you knew that these operations were ongoing, you knew that the operations were illegal, you did nothing about it, then there's an accident and you say they should arrest the person. Yes, they should arrest the person, but you must also lose your job.
And it is important that you make this point, because one of the many things we've been told during the appointment of MMDCs is that they must be responsible for the fight against galamsey in their respective districts. In fact, it is one of the what's the word we use for checking performance indicators? KPIs.
How can you forget this word? Maureen, how can you forget this word?
The trauma has removed it from his memory.
You know, it is one of the things they look out for in their KPIs. That if you're a DC and there's illegal mining happening in your locality, you are a candidate to be fired. And so what has happened to that in terms of KPI? Who is checking it? Is it a local government minister? Is he the one who's supposed to be having a supervisor? Because when NIMOS has come together, I believe the local government ministry will be a part of it, considering that MMDCs have this in their KPIs that you should ensure illegal mining is not happening. And so when you say that DC should lose their job, you're absolutely spot on, in fact.
Okay, so it is Twifo Mampong. 3 dead, 1 trapped after galamsey pit collapsed on 5. And this is a story on Graphic Online. Modern Ghana has the same story. 3 dead, 1 missing in galamsey pit collapse at Twifo Mampong. I hope I'm getting the name right. And this is like 7 hours ago. So it's not something that happened yesterday. 7 hours ago, fresh. So I think the local government minister, our friend Banda, he has to pay attention to this matter, and that DCE must go. You see, let us demonstrate that we will not allow
a certain level of seriousness. Yes. Actually, a certain level of seriousness in terms of
you knew that the operations were ongoing. I'm looking for that part where they said, I don't know whether they did. I saw this on one of the TV stations. I was just monitoring the news and I saw that just yesterday. It is not right. So you are still at post because you are the DCE. Meanwhile, you are the head of security at the district level. So there is no way you can say that you didn't know that these operations were ongoing and that they were illegal. There's no way you can make that argument. Anyway, so Slavia says that
no security zone conversation.
No entry. Yeah, wild. Hey, who is this one?
Mahama. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
That's a Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Oh, as for tilapia, when he grabs you, there is no escape, you know.
He's wearing boots. He's in the field. You see, all the trees have been cut down.
Exactly. It's what I was going to actually, and it's a very symbolic thing that he's done because after the trees have been cut, then we say it's a security zone. It's a question that is being asked.
After the fact.
Yeah.
The harm is caused.
And then we say it's a security zone.
What are you securing?
The tree stumps.
Sad.
Or securing the tree stumps. Anyways.
Here's what. I'm still looking at the story. I'm still looking for that portion that talks about they knowing that this was a galamsey pit.
As in the bit of the story which says that the person is a known galamsey.
A known galamsey. I'm still looking for that.
Anyways.
So this is the Twifo Atiamokwa district in the central region.
Yeah.
Yes. So local government minister, one of your people has misbehaved. And the central regional minister, this is also at your doorstep.
Absolutely.
Yes, and who again? The MPs in the central region. This you have to also watch. The DCE. So after hours of frantic rescue efforts led by the District Police Command with support from the District Chief Executive Isaac Yorson. That's his name.
Yeah.
I found his name. Isaac Yorson. Isaac Yorson has to be investigated. Call him. Ask him questions. He has questions to answer. Did he know this was a galamsey pit? Did he know the operations were illegal? At what point did he get to know that? He must answer for these things and he must lose his job.
Absolutely,
But
guys.
just very, very quickly, I run through our comments this morning.
Right.
Thank you so much for everybody that is tuned in. Hajik, we are back again today. Joshua Sedu says, good morning. Joshua, good morning to you. Teddy Saki says, I love you guys more than ever. You make our radio more exciting. Teddy, we do this in tandem with you, so thank you for being a part of the family. Lawrence King says, good morning, family. Lawrence King, we're greeting you as well. Jessica Oting says, iPhones are part of my family's list. Hey, Jessica.
She's resurrected a
For
conversation.
which members of the family?
She says,
Father, mother, or only mother?
Jessica, come back to us. Let us know. Paulina says, who is asking for the phone? Is it you, the bride, or is it your parents? Good question. Awumi Koblavi says, practicality of NPP's top-bottom approach from 169 to 137 to 88 to now 87. Baumia. Okay, I'm not connecting the dots.
I think it's from the Baumia tour.
I see. Haj Yakub says the NDC thinks they can shift the goalpost when the reality slaps them in the face. You promise state of emergency, not the security zone. Just declare a state of emergency and let's see the life of your so-called code board. Haj Yakubu, thank you for that passionate one. It's good that you are still here despite your misgivings.
The same one from yesterday.
Yes, the same Haj. He's back. I think he's a regular now. And we appreciate your company, Haj.
As always.
As well as your
always.
comments. Do keep it coming. As for your other comment, this one you made, I will read it out. But yeah, state of emergency, state of emergency, state of emergency. That's what the president said he was going to do. We watch keenly this space.
Guys, thank you very much for helping us to the newspaper review. I think we'll go for a quick break. When we return, then we hear from you as well, who's doing the listening for us on Community Voices. Right now and get it straight into it. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Harry.
Yes, sir. Good morning. I trust that you're well.
Yeah, this is calling from Amamole.
Collins from Amamole, let's hear you and please be brief for us so we can get a lot more persons today as well.
Fantastic. Let me greet your children's listeners and say to Honorable Niashimo and the Secretary and my boss, Donny Hills, wherever he is, I greet him this morning. Well, I'll go straight to the point. Look, let me approach the president and the NTC for fighting a good fight of this galamsey. But if you go back into the previous administration, that's the former President Akufo-Addo, and we had an MP holding mic telling people with our local language that and the same people will come back and tell the nation that, look, President Mahama said he will fight Galamsey, he should call to this